I now hand the conference over to Ms. Sheetal Khanduja from Go India Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Neerav. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Gayatri Projects Limited's earnings call to discuss the Q1 FY22 results. We have on the call Mr. Sandeep Reddy, Managing Director of the company. We must remind you that the discussion on today's call may include certain forward-looking statements and must be therefore viewed in conjunction with the risk that the company faces. May I now request Mr. Sandeep Reddy to take us through the company's business outlook and financial highlights, subsequent to which we will open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sheetal. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking out time to join us for our Q1 FY22 earnings call. I hope you and your family members are safe and healthy. I hope you have seen the earnings presentation which has been uploaded on the exchanges. I would like to start with the updating on our project execution status. Despite COVID-led disruption on account of second wave, we were able to maintain a reasonably strong state of project execution. Purvanchal Expressway is near completion and will be handed over soon. We are also made significant progress at Odisha projects, and similarly, the NHA project at Andhra Tamil Nadu body is progressing well. In the non-road segment, our EPC mining work is advancing well. We have a strong order book backlog, an order book of 124 plus billion with a book to bill of 3 times. With regards to the NHA issue, we have rectified most of the deficiencies at the Sultanpur Varanasi site, and we are now engaged with NHAI to get the earlier order reversed. We will keep you updated of developments in this matter. Secondly, as you are all aware that our balance sheet is stretched due to the delays in payment from states on account of the pandemic. But we are committed to improving our balance sheet, and in this regard, we have made some key strategic decisions. I am happy to report we have signed a definitive agreement with Interrupts USA, and the board has approved a preferential allotment of 75 million equity shares of 2 rupees each, which translates to an infusion of 337 crores in the company, subject to the approval of the shareholders at the ensuing AGM. Post the allotment, the strategic investors and promoters will have a combined holding of 59% in the company on the expanded capital base. This equity infusion will help the company partially pay this long-term debt and restore its accounts to regular status from current default status. The company currently has a long-term debt of 519 crores. Moving on to our financial performance for the quarter, Q1 was up 34% at 897 crores. EBITDA for the period was 27% higher at 109 crores. EBITDA growth was driven by strong gross margins, which improved to 18.7 from 13.3 in the last quarter. We are still facing the impact of higher commodity prices, and margins continue to remain under pressure. The PAT was at 23 as against a negative profitability of 12 crores on our Q1 FY21. Our working capital requirements increased by almost 2 billion this quarter on account of delayed payments from state governments. Coming to Q2 and full year outlook, the Q2 is usually a seasonally weak quarter on account of monsoon, and we will see the impact of slower execution. Hence, we expect a flattish to marginal revenue growth. With this, I will open the floor for questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Shanaya Nair from Value Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So now that your Purvanchal project is completed, which projects are we focusing on?
No, we still have, currently, as you said, order book is 12,500 crores. So we would be now focusing on the Delhi-Saharanpur elevated expressway, which is about 1,300 crores, and also the new water projects for Chivan. These are the new projects we'll be focusing more now.
Okay. And so what is the status of the Jal Jeevan project? Any update on the execution? And could you also provide some information on labor availability currently?
No, our first phase of about 800 crores, what we have, what I call as surface water projects, those are progressing as per schedule. There's no issue. We were disrupted in month of May due to labor problem, but I think See, mostly we don't use much of migrant labor for these water projects. Mostly these are all done in the villages, so most of the local labor are used. So that way there is not much of so much issue compared to the regular construction projects where people come from faraway states. And coming to the other phase, second phase of the Jal Jeevan projects, which are where we have to do the DPRs. We have got about 1,400 villages where we have submitted DPRs, and those are under still scrutiny, and we are expecting next month to finalize convert the DPR into a contract. So from that time onwards, 18 months it takes to complete those projects.
Okay. And sir, regarding the balance sheet exposure on the irrigation segment, are we receiving any payments on time now?
Not at all. In fact, irrigation segment is badly hit because we have balance sheet exposure of nearly, I think last 6 months because of COVID. The Andhra, Telangana and Karnataka have delayed the payments. That is what has affected us badly.
Okay, sir. Thank you for answering my questions. If I have any more questions...
They have started, I think this month they have promised us that they will start clearing the payments. I feel that in maybe the next 2 quarters, the receivable position will improve substantially.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for the clarification. I'll get back into you if I have further questions.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Amanjeet Singh from Oculus Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm audible, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, sir. Sir, I just wanted to check. So this preferential issue that you've done will lead to an equity infusion of 337 crores. So by when are we expecting the funds?
So actually we are having the shareholders EGM on 28th. And after the shareholder approval, it's the regular process. Then we have a board meeting and then issue of shares. Probably should take a week.
Okay, so you're expecting the funds to come within a week, sir? Approximately?
Yeah.
Week, 10 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and out of the 337, sir, how much will be you using to kind of par your debt, and how much will be using for work?
So we are working on. We'll work out prudently. What is payable to debt, some portion of the debt, and also to some portion will be used for working capital for speeding up the existing projects also.
Got it, sir. That's it from my side.
Just to clarify, the money could take 1 week after the EGM. The EGM is on 28th.
Got it. So by say mid of next month approximately, like latest?
Maybe first week of next month.
First week of next month. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Puneet Saraswat, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Mr. Reddy, this is Puneet. I want to ask 2 questions from you. So, like one of our participants asked that after the AGM, you will be getting, with the shareholders' approval, you will be getting the money. So, is that the equity that you will be getting would be in tranches, or it would be a one-time payment?
No, it's one time.
Question 1.
One time. Yeah.
One time. Okay. And second question is that you have mentioned in your investor presentation also that there is an impact on margins due to this material cost. And if we see the commodity cycle also, it is not likely that it is going in a downtrend, or it is not likely that it is going in a, like we can say it is almost in a uptrend to maybe the balance position, like not moving much here and there. And if it moves, what is our backup plan? Because that has impacted the margins a lot. And is there anything that we...
I don't think it is further going to go up. Now steel prices are more or less stabilized. See, the thing is, going forward, sometimes the escalation catches up. See, the escalation formula is based on the index. See, normally what we have seen from our experience, the index never catches, it is like the commodity price goes up by one shot, but the index doesn't go exactly to that. The index slowly moves up. So probably by next 2 quarters, as long as the commodity prices are more or less stable at this price, the index would catch up to that. Then after that, our margins will come back to normalcy. Actually, this impacted us very badly because if you look at it from January to June, where the major steel prices have gone up, diesel prices have gone up, and bitumen prices have gone up.
So you expect not further movement in steel prices, like in the Kacha market, what we say?
I think so. What we've been hearing that steel prices are more or less stabilized now, unless they further go up. I have no idea. I can't predict the price, and I think we have seen even last 1 month, even diesel prices are more or less stable now.
Okay, that's first. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Anil Sharma from EV Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi sir, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. Just a couple of questions from my side. So sir, first in terms of NHAI, what's the status of the resolution that's going on with the NHAI?
I think we are rectifying it. Rectification is going on since these are concrete panels. So it can't be done overnight. It takes about 2-3 months. We got the order in June. As you know, we're only 2 months over, and also monsoon time is another problem because so we are rectifying those panels. Once we rectify them, then we call the NHAI officials for inspection, and then they will do it. So we are expecting in the next 1 month or 1.5 months to come to normalcy.
So sir, what non-NHAI projects are you looking at right now then?
We have bid actually. We have recently bid also for one bid in Karnataka for an irrigation project, but we did not get it. So, but no, what I have seen, the bidding pipeline has been last 3 months has not been very active at all. Nothing much is happening because I think post-COVID, still people are, state governments and all are just figuring out how to get out of their funding and all that, I feel. So practically, if you see, it hasn't really affected us. Our order book is still 3 times our book-to-bill ratio, so we have enough order. So we are not in a hurry to, take new orders.
Okay. And second, sir, was on the interest cost side. So could you guide us on the aggregate interest cost and how will that move over the next few quarters with the the capital?
Average about 11%, no? 11%.
So the timeline for the repayment of debt, would that change with the infusion of additional capital?
Yeah. In fact, some of this debt, the overdue will be paid, but the debt repayment is going on as per schedule, no? So there's no difference in repayment. The repayment schedule is going on.
No. So I am asking, will the timeline change for that?
No, nothing will change. No, timeline won't change.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Amanjeet Singh from Oculus Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, so FY21 you did about 3,900 crore of top line, and FY22 you guided from 0 to 5%, and I think that's primarily because of your Q1 being impacted by COVID and Q2 being seasonally weak. Sir, but how are you seeing FY23? So what is the outlook on that?
FY23 will be very good actually. FY23 definitely we will. As I told you, the present order book has to be finished within the next 2.5 years. So all the projects now are in full swing. So the FY23 definitely will be much higher. I don't. FY23 is too. I can't predict today how much turnover I can do. It's too early.
Right. So, but you mentioned that you've got a strong order book and you have to finish it within 2.5 years. And considering knockoffs is 3,900 crore.
Sorry to interrupt you, but your audio is not clear.
Yeah. No, that way, theoretically, we say next year I should do about 15% growth. Definitely, we will try to achieve 15% this year. I think that the next 6 months we will catch up. 3rd and 4th quarter, definitely.
Okay, so FY23 you're looking at approximately 15%.
No, FY22. 23 next year, right? We are in 22 now. You're asking for 22 or 23?
Sir, 23, sir.
23 is next year, right?
Yes, sir. In your presentation, FY22 guidance, you've given revenue 0 to 5% growth, sir, on slide 15.
Yes.
So you're saying that is going to be higher, sir? You're saying?
No, 5% growth is what we have guided officially. But it could go up also. See, it's too early to predict.
Got it. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and one to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Shania Nair from Value Investments. Please go ahead.
Sir, what is the status of more orders in the water segment under the Jal Se Nal scheme? What is the scope in UP and which other states are more going aggressive on the scheme?
So I think currently UP has a third phase coming up. Probably take another 6 months, I understand. But right now we are, as I told you, we have 800 crores of our surface water projects, and also the DPRs approximately what we have got for 1,400 villages will go up to about 2,000 for what we have seen for few of the sample DPRs.
Okay. And sir, aside from Sembcorp in India state, is there any visibility of that happening in the next 12 months?
Yeah, in fact, Sembcorp is seriously working out, I think, 3 options. One, looking at an IPO, 2, divestment of their renewable assets, getting a strategic partner, also divestment of their coal assets. In any of these divestments happen, we would be able to get in some money for our share as per our option agreement.
Okay.
I think 12 months we will see definitely some movement in Sembcorp.
Okay. And so since we are in default right now, are you talking to any kind of banks for restructuring? Do we require restructuring of working capital loans as well?
No, we are not. We are right now in default, but once this equity and also some of the receivables come, we will become current with the banks probably in a quarter's time.
Okay, sir. And sir, do we have adequate bank guarantee limits to bid for new orders? How much is our limit and what amount is unused?
We can get back, I don't remember offhand, but we have about nearly 400 to 500 crores of unused. And also we are expecting in the next 6 months a lot of guarantees will get returned because most of the existing projects get over. They'll return. So we have enough guarantees to take care of order inflow of about 3,000 to 5,000 per annum.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and one to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Urvija Shah from Isha Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, how much debt you said is due for repayment in this year?
In this year?
Yes, the rest of the year?
Rest of the year is about, I think about 100.
See, initially 2,234 crores we are seeing.
No. What is the due repayment? 1 minute. 1 minute, we'll just.
1,700 crores, sir.
Oh, I see. What is the debt? What you're asking, our total term debt is 500. What is the repayment in this year? What you're asking, isn't it?
Yes. So, sir, can you help me with the total working capital debt? Long-term debt, you said it is 500. So, what is the total debt on the books?
Actually.
The total debt on books is?
Total debt on books is how much? Around 2,000.
And how much is due for repayment?
500 is due for repayment. 500 is the total term loans which will take up to 2020. I don't offhand have the schedule. We can share with you afterwards if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Urjiva, do you have any follow-up question?
I think I'll take it offline.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and one to ask the question. The next question is from the line of Anil Sharma from AB Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity again. Just one thing I wanted to check, what all awards and claims, can we monetize this year and any sort of timelines for monetization if you can please provide?
No, we are expecting this year, I think at least around 200 crores of claims to be monetized.
Pardon? I didn't get that. Sorry.
We are actively working out with NHAI. The reconciliation process is on. So we feel that we will be able to realize at least around 200 crores of claims.
200 claims.
And a lot of claims are stuck in courts, which I am unable to answer at all because the way courts are working in this country.
And one more thing, sir, in terms of statutory dues like PF and gratuity kind of thing. So are we behind on that particular aspect as well?
They are behind by a month. PF and all, they are okay. Some TDS, 1 quarter is on and off because of the same delay in cash flows.
So 1 quarter of lag, you are saying?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, just one more thing on the strategic investor side. So when I see their balance sheet, they don't seem to have that much of, enough capital. How sure are we, in terms of getting funds from them?
Basically, they are not the direct investors. See, they are a company which arranges the money and also holding asset management company. So they are basically getting money from, they are holding retirement assets from the US retirement funds. So they root in other funds. So it's all they are not directly in their name. It's a financial investor actually.
So do we have another plan? Let's say if this doesn't materialize, so if this doesn't happen, so do we have another plan B kind of thing?
I will not materialize. They have signed everything. They are a New York listed company. So I don't think we let's wait for 20 days. After that we'll see any other plan.
Okay. Thank you then. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question.
I think everybody's over.
The next question is from the line of Amanjeet Singh from Oculus Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So just one follow-up. So the strategic investor, I think, is listed in the US as well, right?
Yes.
So, sir, in their exchange filing, they have actually spoken about a possible follow-on investment after this initial investment of 337 crores. So, sir, any color on, or have you had any discussions further on the timeline?
They're looking at further investment.
Okay.
Yeah, board has to decide. So we are not yet decided about that. So let us get the first phase first.
Okay. But so that will be basis of some any milestones or something, because I think they spoke about something 49% stake or something was for their filing to the SEC.
Yeah, their basic thing is that they want to maintain 51-49 of the promoter stake.
Okay.
And then also they wanted to do some basic due diligence for the second phase. So they're still not yet decided. It is still under process.
So have they approached you with a proposal or something? So is it lying with your board, sir, or you are still to receive a proposal from their end?
No, they are still discussing with them actually.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions, I will now hand the conference over to Mr. Sandeep Reddy for closing comments.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on the call today. I do hope we have been able to satisfactorily address your queries. In case you have any pending or follow-on queries, please contact the team at Go India Advisors and they'll be able to address any questions you may have. Thanks for your support and time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Go India Advisors, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.